Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is us again with the Band Time podcast, and today we have a very special guest, TarekTV, vocalist of the band Owls of Aura. What's up, man?
How
How
you
you
guys
living?
doing?
Doing
Well,
great,
trying to
man.
stay busy.
Hell yeah!
Shit, I
And
feel you.
today we're going to be discussing the band's first LP, Cohesive Frequency. Um, I gotta say, this is a favorite of mine. This is like one of those back pocket albums whenever somebody needs something fire that I know that they haven't listened to yet. I
Oh
pull
yeah,
this at this is my trump card. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
This shit right here sends you to the shadow
bro.
realm.
This shit is what Yugi's talking about when he said you're gonna make me play my trap card. This is the album, bro.
Nice, nice. Well,
Oh
I
So
yeah.
appreciate it,
I
guys.
guess it's starting off. Why don't you give us a little story of how the band came together?
Well, hold on,
Okay.
David.
All right.
You're fucking it all up. Tarek, fuck what he said. Okay, not only how the band came together, but where you guys are out of, and I guess what you do for the band.
Okay. Um, well, we're from Rockford, Illinois. It's like about an hour outside of Chicago. And let's see. I'm the singer of the band. I also record, mix, and master the band, producer. I write the drums as well, play the drums. But not I don't play the drums live. Just as far as writing goes, I help out a lot with that. Um, the band actually. So before we lost a lot of members, okay, there's been quite a bit of changes going on. But originally we were still the Sky, okay, and that there was a lot less singing, and we were just like, I guess you could say somewhere between like Memphis May Fire and Issues. It was something like that, and we'd gained a lot of traction around here, and a lot of attention. And one thing's like our local radio station, they had a battle of the bands out here, and we had won that, and just so we were doing it, and then I don't know, we just after a few years we just kind of stopped playing that music. And Dustin and Dustin was the original guitarist for both of these bands, and we had kind of got together because I moved to Arizona for a while, so I still live in Illinois now, but I'd moved to Arizona for a while, and when I came back, me and Dustin got together and we wrote "Taking Time" because we were on like a huge Dance Gavin Dance kick, and we're like, you know what? We've got the talent. Let's see. Let's kind of do something like this, because we love listening to this style. So we wrote "Taking Time," and then from there, we started reaching out to our past band members, Brett and Tyler, and like, hey, we're working on this. We want to get together. Would you guys be interested in doing this with us? And of course, Brett right away was absolutely down, and then Tyler was also down as well. So but we were like, hey, look, so we're gonna sit and really focus on writing this music, because you can't write this music by jamming out, and that's what I
No,
try to
this is music that takes proper planning. Like
yes.
there, and that's one other thing as far as both albums from Isles of Aura, Cohesive Frequency and the Grand Allure, it is like the amount of time it takes to structure these songs. I can't imagine that is a short amount of time.
Right.
Just everything that goes into y'all's music is very very carefully planned in my eyes, and I believe I think you would agree with that.
It is, and that's what I try to tell a lot of aspiring musicians. When we talk to them, is just like, hey, you're not gonna write your best work just by going and practicing jamming out. A lot of the people that you're competing with, it's carefully calculated.
Yeah,
It's well thought out. There's an actual song structure. There's a bridge. There's a chorus. There's verses. It's not just like, here's a breakdown, and here's a chorus, and that we're gonna call that a song. So
right, right. David.
Yeah. Well, you answered one of my questions while you were just talking. I was gonna ask you, like what was the first song that you guys wrote and was like happy with and was like this is what's gonna be on the album. So, taking time is what you said, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel that the album progressed from writing taking time in the early days and then writing songs later?
There's your answer. That's it.
uh, yeah. Well, so we actually lost Dustin. Um, he was the main guy that for the longest, who would really put in the time of making things really technical. So you'll
Right.
notice in songs like Blue Bug Blood, there's all sorts of sweeping.
Yeah.
Taking time is very, very intricate, and those are songs that him and I work together.
Would you
Um,
put Evergreen Moon in that little pool as well?
yes, yeah,
Right.
Evergreen
Yeah.
Moon is definitely in there
Yeah,
as well.
you can tell the guitar heavy songs on this album. Like they just feel like they were wrote differently
But I
than
mean,
something like Faith Untold, in my opinion.
even still, like Tyler, fire drummer, if he was playing that
Oh,
shit live,
absolutely,
like
absolutely, and he would.
yeah, for sure. Anyways, back to what you were saying.
But Brett and we try to continue that. And we actually did end up getting a new guitarist to help out because Dustin Hanson, still one of my great friends. He's a great guy and he's still a great musician. He's in Versus Me now, and that's just that's the direction he was wanting to go at that time. And they're kind of like I Prevail or something like that. So working on Dance Gavin Dance stuff, it just wasn't his forte at that time. So we parted ways, respectfully. And we try to pick up the pieces without him and continue on and just keep going at it, for the fans and not only for them, but for ourselves because we love the music as well. So we got a new guitarist. His name was Ian. He's not in the band anymore, just because basically, the pandemic really just kind of took a toll on everybody's, with what was going on in the band, and because we had there's so much stuff that went on. We had a drummer that came in from Panama, and he had got detained like a week before
Oh my god.
COVID was announced. He flew to Chicago, dude, and he got detained because they had read through his texts with us as saying that like, hey, yeah, we can find you work, because we thought he had a working visa. If you're here for too long, we can find you work, to kind of give you a little income. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, we brought Ian into the band. He worked on a few tracks, but for the most part, like the songs like Tangled Tongues and Comet,
Great
that's
song. Gonna
that's
go ahead.
all
Tangled Tongues is such a fire song.
and Revisions,
Oh my
that's all
god.
Brett and I. And we just really try to put in, keeping that certain like funky flavor, that people have
Yeah.
come to love. But we'll always miss Dustin. He's always got a place in our hearts. But he's doing his own thing now, and we just continue to try to keep up with the band, and which kind of we've got some new stuff coming out, and
Oh shit.
Yeah.
it's a bit different. And the
Oh,
reason
oh,
it's
oh.
just
Speaking of which, uh, not to toot my own horn, but I got a little listen, David, to some of the new stuff already, and
that's
Right
uh,
cool.
on.
and if Tarek doesn't mind, I might send it to you if he's okay with it.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, what you showed me, I enjoyed quite a bit. But as a question from me, if you're done answering the last one,
Yeah, I think I am.
okay. So it's been a while, but like I found you guys. I can't remember what year it was I found you guys, but it was at least 4 years ago, at least. And I saw a video online on YouTube. It was y'all. It was Isles of Aura, but it was you guys plus a screamer, like someone who did like unclean
uh,
vocals. And
okay,
I'm wondering about that.
so at the time, I know exactly what video you're talking about. We were playing at like the biggest venue around our area. It's called the Apollo Theater. Shout out to them for throwing a lot of local bands on major acts. But
Hell
so
yeah,
we're from the same city that the Color Morale is from. I don't know, I'm not sure if you guys know who that is.
I
Never
know
heard of
who
But
him.
the Color Morale is. I've
but
seen them live one time.
oh, okay, yeah, they're pretty good, and they're from the same city, and they had a
Yeah, they go
hometown
hard.
show, and we got thrown on that, and so at the time, Isles of Aura's material was not done yet, and we were still technically half Still the Sky, half Isles of Aura. So, that the guy that was screaming, his name is Josh. He was actually one of our really good buddies, and we had just brought him up there because we thought it would be fun. He's like a huge diehard fan of us, and we were like, hey, you know what? If you want to scream, and I'm like, I don't want to scream anymore, honestly. Like, I'd rather just focus on the singing for this one show. Like, by all means, come up. And he actually tore it up with us, man. And so, yeah, he was never actually part of the official band, but he did help out with that one show when we basically had no material as the new band
You
yet.
know, that was something I was wondering about because, like, when I saw that video, I had never like any of your songs. I'd never seen a need for like someone to do unclean vocals when you pretty much had everything down pat. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like I said, I mean, the Owls of Aura stuff. The only song that we had um, done at that point was "Taking Time."
which I'm gonna tell you, the first song I ever heard by you guys was "Taking Time," and it was so long ago, man. It like I said, at least 4 to 5 years, something like that. And
I love that song to this day.
it's an amazing song, bro. But
Thank you.
but oh, David, no, you go. I don't want to. I have a lot of
Oh,
questions,
so
but I don't want to take from you.
really quick, I think I'm gonna know the answer to this because you've told us that you did the drums, wrote the drums, and you do all the mixing and mastering. But on songs like Depth Rising and Longevity, did you do the drum pads?
Yeah. So, and Faith Untold too. That was just a lot of the production. We want to, because what we were seeing a lot of at this time was we would go see a big band, right, and they would have all these samples in between, just leading into their next song to kind of blend it in. And what we wanted to do was, really focus on being able to provide, that same kind of experience for our fans. So we incorporated it into the album.
Right on. What made you put Longevity as like track number 4?
All right, so we actually wrote that as an intro to Blue Bug Blood. If you listen to it, you'll
Oh,
notice it's
Yes, I
okay,
it's
I
that
the
I
makes
same
was gonna
key.
sense.
ask that.
Yeah, it's in the same key of Blue Bug Blood, and then there's a couple of the vocal parts that I quote from Blue Bug Blood, like "You'll never win me, my heart is bleeding." I'm saying that in like a higher, whispery kind of tone in the background of Longevity. So
That's awesome, man.
Okay, so now, bug blood. Since we're on that topic,
tongue twister.
no, no, no,
It
no, no,
really is.
no, no, it's good. Blue bug blood. So in 2009, in 2009, that was the year of bands like going into the woods and making some fucking music videos.
Yeah, yeah.
So what was the inspiration behind that music video? Because honest to God, that is one of my favorite music videos I've ever seen. Just I mean the the visuals in it were really nice, and you had that long curly ass hair, bro.
Oh, the flow was sick. The
The
flow was
flow
fucking
was
sick.
sick, my man. So
Yeah,
what was the
so
inspiration behind that?
um the song or the video or both?
The music video.
Okay, so the video was just supposed to kind of portray, what the song was talking about, which was essentially, we wanted to raise awareness towards toxic, abusive relationships and their
In there.
effects, like PTSD.
Yeah.
And if you follow along with the video, what you'll notice is that our actress, she is in a relationship with one guy, right? And but it keeps flashing back and it's showing someone else sitting there entirely, and then it's showing their abusive relationship. And at the very end of it, um, you see uh, our actor, the nice guy, the nice actor. You'll see him. Oh, is my audio? Is everything working? Okay.
You're good.
No,
Your
You'll
you're
see.
good.
audio is fine.
Okay. So pretty much what happens? There's a point in time where the abuser is abusing the lady, right? And
Right,
then
right, right.
his eyes glow red, and then her eyes glow red, right? And then, so that's supposed to signify the damage, the trauma that's already been done, right? And so what you'll see is at the very end of that video, she's looking at her current boyfriend, and he's confused. He's like, "Whoa, what's going on with you?
And then
Like,
she
why
gets
are you being
those
like
red
this?"
eyes.
Right? And then she gets the red eyes, and then he's looking at her, and then he gets the red eyes. So it's supposed
Yeah,
to just signify, like, pretty much do unto others as you'd want to do to you, and because paying it forward, whatever you give out is going to affect somebody else. So if I am at Starbucks and I pay for somebody's order, that's going to make their day. They'll probably pay for the next person's order, blah blah blah. Same thing
right.
happens if you're going around being a crappy person, and abusing people. That's going to affect them, but it's not only going to affect them, it's going to affect the next person, right?
Yeah,
So we wanted to just kind of shine a light on that, and just help make a visual representation, because I feel like there's a lot of narcissists and abusers out there who don't really comprehend the damage that they're doing to other people, when they're being that way. So we just wanted to kind of raise awareness towards that.
right. Okay.
Well,
But as far as the forest goes, honestly, like, that's just all we had available to us
Bro,
at the
listen,
time,
hey man,
like.
listen. Y'all took it back to '09 for me, so I was all for it.
one more thing with the music video for Bug Blood was the eyes and the visual effects. Was that something that you guys came up with, or was that like in the director's hands of the music video?
Um, I would say it
That's a
was
good question,
us,
David. I'll be right back.
because there was a lot of, we had pretty much drawn out an entire storyline and gave it to, our director at that time, and said what we wanted to do and what we were really wanting to portray. He did a great job, capturing what we wanted to, but as far as like the storyline and plotting it all out, I would say that was definitely all of us. Can you
Right
guys give
on.
me like
That's cool.
40 seconds real quick? I gotta go let the dog inside.
Yeah, you're good, man.
All
Take
Yeah,
your
right, all
dude.
right,
time.
all right. I'll be right back.
So David,
So Dalton,
this is probably my favorite podcast we've done so far.
it's probably the only one that's any entertaining.
Only one person of interest. Oh man. God. Oh. I got my fucking tortilla blanket. And the man of the hour is back.
Boom, I'm back.
Boom. All right. Well, here I got a question for you. How did it come up to choose mine and the Ghost of You to do covers of?
Ooh,
Ooh,
and not only that, have you not heard the what's the Post Malone song y'all did?
Rockstar.
Rockstar, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what
Well,
I was gonna ask that too. What
that's not on Spotify, is it?
And that one's
That
not on
cover?
Spotify. We never
I've never
released that
heard
one to
that.
Spotify.
what
Ah,
what
I
was
thought there was a. I thought I heard
what was
every
the
Hours of War
reasons
song.
for those three songs as covers? And I will say that the only version of of Bazzy, that song by Bazzy, mine that I listen to is y'all's version. That's it.
Appreciate it, man. Well,
Yeah, man.
honestly, just pop culture. And those are just some of the favorites of ours. I've got a deep love for Post Malone. Both Brett and I, we really like Bozzy. Um, and then one of my favorite bands ever is My Chemical Romance. So,
Okay.
and The Ghost of You is my favorite song by them. So, and at the time when we covered The Ghost of You, I was just going through a really rough time. I was in a dark place, and like that just it screamed to me, and we wanted to, put something out there. As far as like Post Malone goes, though, like it was a hot song at the time, and
Yeah,
with
yeah.
me being able to sing the way I can, it just sounded like a good idea to do
He's
that.
not tooting his own horn. He's good.
And then the same thing, with mine. We just love that song, and we heard it, and we're like, it's under 2 minutes. Like, that's why it's so catchy. Like, by the time it's done, you're like, I haven't had enough. I play it again. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so it was like we wanted to cover that, and so we did it, and apparently, those songs. well, not particularly the Ghost of You, but mine is one of our top releases on all the streaming
Bro, that
platforms.
I mean,
People
it's
love listening
fire,
to
dude.
that.
Like your voice really fits, that song. Like even if it's like y'all's style, it fits that song really well.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, listen. I'm not dick riding or nothing, but like,
I don't think you are. I don't think you are.
mm, okay. So I've wondered this since I heard the song for the first time. What exactly? And I've tried to understand and I just can't get the full meaning of it. But what is terror and horror like actually about?
Oh man. So, can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, that's way too loud.
Okay, what about this? Is this
Uh,
good?
down a little bit more.
Right here?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
Do you have
better.
a fan going or something?
No, I don't. But I'm seeing this thing's like tripping out right now. That's all. It's kind of.
Yeah, I heard a
That's weird.
thunderstorm for a minute.
Let me try to unplug it or something. Yo, yo. Yeah, I
Yeah,
still
we
see
can
it.
hear
It's
you,
going
but
off.
yeah, we hear the rumbling still.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with that, dude.
It's definitely not as bad now though.
Is it good?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that okay? I still see it going off.
David, are you?
It's good enough.
I can't hear it now at all.
Oh no. Yeah, I
Hold
don't
on.
know what that is, dude.
Yeah, no, I can't hear it now at all.
All right. Um.
Roll
Okay.
with
I'm
it.
sorry. What
Show
was the
must go on.
question?
Terror and horror. What exactly is that song about?
Oh man.
Did I just hit a nerve?
No, I mean a lot of that cohesive frequency album was just being in an abusive relationship. I mean
Yeah,
just suffering that emotional abuse, and for me that was just my way. I remember when I wrote that, I had just like I was like probably a month into a breakup that I wasn't over, and I had to write something to tell myself, that like enough was enough and that I was done.
yeah,
So I figured, hey, if I write this song, it totally matches, the vibe of the song, that I could solidify that I was done and moving forward, and also, kind of give people, something to listen to that would, maybe they could relate to it and maybe it would help them. But really, I mean, that song is just about just being wrapped in people's toxic, venomous ways, man. Like, and honestly, if anyone's out there listening right now, and if you're in a crappy relationship, bro, where you get abused physically or mentally or whatever way, if you can, like, just get out of it, because it's only going to get better when you leave, because those kind of people, they're not going to change, so for me, it was just about, like I said, being able to express that, like, I had to be done. I had to move forward
right.
and move away from that.
Okay.
Right
Also,
on.
just want to give a big shout out to my boy TarekTV. His birthday was yesterday.
Yeah,
Happy
I'm getting old,
birthday,
Oh
man.
bro!
shit! Happy birthday!
I'm getting old, big 30.
Shit. Hey man, you're still young in my eyes, brother.
Yeah, I hope.
I'm only 5 years younger than you, so I gotta look at it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well,
David
can I
with it.
just go ahead and go off the walls here and say that "Recovery" is such a sleeper song on
Oh
this
my
album?
god, yes.
Like, why do people not listen to "Recovery" more?
The breakdown for recovery is insane, bro. I've I
So do you
fucking
guys know
love that
there's an
breakdown.
acoustic version of that?
Yes, I have
What?
heard it. I've
No.
seen the video.
See,
It's on
I use
YouTube, David.
Spotify. I use Spotify for like all of my music listening.
David,
Yeah,
it's
it's
So
on
on YouTube.
YouTube, and the acoustic version is as good or better than the original. It's so good.
I would definitely listen to it.
Appreciate that. Yeah,
Yeah,
recovery,
man.
man. We love that song. We love that song. And that's one of the few songs that like every time we play that live, we're like, oh, we just that song kills, man.
That
Like
shit
it's so
just feels
solid.
right.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Recovery, man. And shoot, that song really is just about you know, surviving the abuse, but giving somebody else a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
not everybody's the same. There's tons of people out there who can love and care about you and treat you the right way, and that song is just really about that. Just surviving and giving somebody the right chance that they deserve.
Hell yeah, man. That I mean, recovery. Like I I didn't actually. Recovery was one of those songs that I didn't actually really listen to a lot until I started listening to it, getting ready for this podcast, and then I was like, "Damn, like that shit is real, bro." And I've gained such a love for that song just within this past week. I absolutely I'm so in love with that song, bro.
Well, I appreciate it, man. It's
Yeah, dude. No
it's so
sweat.
it's so strange talking about these songs that are like 4 years old because I'm just at like a totally different point in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
can
versus like all the
understand that.
trauma and pain and stuff like
Well,
that.
who
But
knows when you come out with your new stuff, maybe you'd be willing to come back on. Who knows?
oh yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely, this is
But
fun.
less of a question, more of just a statement is that faith or depths rising is faith untold. What's the first track on that album? Is
That's Depths Rising.
Depths Rising? Okay,
Yeah.
Depths Rising absolutely sets the tone for the album. Like it gets you ready for what's to come, and I there aren't a lot of album openers that I can say really set the tone for an album. It just gets you ready for this journey you're about to go on, and
Oh,
it's such a good opening for an album, dude.
so funny story about that is Brett and I wrote that song entirely.
Right.
Um, and that's exactly what we wanted it to do. We wanted to
Oh,
just
it
kind of
worked
set the
so
tone
good.
and like it. But when we wrote that, we were keeping one thing in mind. We wanted it to be theatrical. We wanted there to be a sort of an element of suspense to it, and not a lot of people know this, but like I really love the Silent Hill soundtracks, like the video game Silent Hill.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Hell
really love
yeah.
that. And so you might notice if you go back and listen to Death's Rising, there was a lead that I helped Brett write towards the end of it, and it's very Silent Hill esque, and which kind of gives it that eerie suspense kind of feeling to it. And we to this day, we've had like 3 or 4 intros and for playing live, but still to this day, like Death's Rising is like definitely the banger. Like
Yeah.
I'm all the
The
intro.
way it transitions from the first part with the drum pad and then like the acoustic drums come in, that shit
Yeah.
is just like teeth grinding. That
Yes.
now that you say you're going for like a suspense kind of vibe,
It
I
worked,
really
man.
do get that now. Yeah.
It 100% worked too.
Awesome.
I just think it's so cool, like hearing your vision for a song, and then after like listening to your music so much, and then getting to hear your vision for a song, it kind of like pulls it all together just that much more,
Oh,
you know?
absolutely.
Well, and that's kind of like what I was saying is that to write music like this, you've got to have a plan. It's not gonna happen with
Yeah.
hey yo
There's
yo like run that back play that beat again and then just rocking something out like no that you can't do
yeah,
that with this. Like,
there's got to be a
No,
method to the
that's not how
madness.
this shit works.
yeah. Yeah, so it's always there's always a lot of thought involved in more than anything, like my favorite thing is being able to work on a melody that, regardless of what I say or what's played, my favorite thing is to be able to work on a melody that portrays a certain emotion. I want you to hear something and be like, I can't understand what he's saying, but like this is making me feel a certain type of way, and with that, we always keep that in mind when we're writing music.
Yeah, so can you tell us, is there like one particular song on Cohesive Frequency that is like your baby? That like you really wanted this one song to be the way that you wrote it?
I can answer that for him.
Well, the only song in particular that I wrote from the ground up by myself was Faith Untold. I don't know if I would say that was my baby, because I mean, on all of those tracks, I put my heart and soul into. I mean, like, seriously, we had slaved over this album like it was nobody's business, and there was hundreds of revisions, hundreds of mix and masters, and I'm not kidding. There was hundreds of versions of this stuff,
Yeah,
and you know, so I don't know if I can necessarily say like there's one song in particular, but I guess one song that was special to me and that I wrote entirely was Faith Untold. Um, and I've got kids, okay, and that song in particular was more or less dedicated to my son. Just to pretty much let him know that no matter what happened, I would be there, and that I tried my best, to make sure that things could stay stable for him. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way, and so um, yeah, I had a lot of fun writing that track. Surprisingly, because there's like a keyboard solo towards the latter half of it. If you like really pay attention, that I had like played that like just it was like one take, dude, and I had played this keyboard solo and it fit so perfect. I cleaned it up a little bit, obviously in the DAW and whatnot, but um, yeah, that song, I guess it does hold a special place in my heart. But like I said, the whole album, I put everything I had into that whole album and just putting my emotions in there and stuff. So
that's awesome, man. That's beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have a son, so like that shit really like
yeah,
hits deep with me. Okay, as far as like as
I'm waiting
far
for someone
as
to ask about Evergreen Moon because
Oh
I want to
no,
speak on
hey,
that.
all right, all right. So
oh
Evergreen
wait a
Moon is
minute,
probably the
goddamn
first song I've ever heard by you guys, and let me just say, the chorus to that song
it
fucking hits hard.
slaps so hard.
It really does.
Thank you,
Evergreen
thank
Moon
you.
is such a fire song.
You want to give
So
us a little story about that song?
yeah, I mean, I can pretty much sum it up. So that song, the Evergreen Moon, okay, is this hypothetical place that I'm talking about that you end up being at when you get high. You smoke some weed, all right? It's legal, whatever, it's pretty much about smoking weed and being in a better place, so I say I become the truth, say you need me to float away into the Evergreen Moon, and just about like having like a kind of romantic relationship, with someone and saying, hey, let's smoke a little, like let's go to a better place right now. Let's have some fun. So that's that's really what that was about.
I'm not gonna even lie to you. Like one of my questions, like it was one of my later questions, was gonna be if Evergreen Moon was about like any drug usage, you know, like.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't really count cannabis as a drug these
Well, no,
days.
well, you know what I mean. It's illegal where we live, so
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. No, it's totally recreational here. So,
yeah, no, we
um,
can't even get that.
but but in the breakdown, which ugh, that breakdown's nasty.
Oh
Oh
Um,
man.
yeah,
I say I feel the fire, you know, and what I'm talking about is what I'm saying. I feel the fire. I feel the fire butts, you know.
Right, right,
That sticky icky.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So
Hell
you know
yeah,
that
man.
song's really fun. You know, we love that song. But yeah, I just wanted to, you know, I call the Evergreen Moon, you know, just that place you go to when you get, you know, medicated and you're in a better place.
Okay, so I do have a question. When exactly, like what year, if you can remember, what year was Taking Time actually written and recorded? Because I I found it on YouTube. I was just like listening to Dance
I
Gavin
can look
Dance
that
one
up.
day.
Hold on.
I was listening to Dance Gavin Dance one day, and I found Taking Time like under suggested videos, and then I listened to it for a while, and then it somehow got taken down because I couldn't find it anywhere. And then a couple months after I couldn't find it, it finally got either reposted or revamped or something. And I was just like, fuck yes, this must mean that these
You know
guys are
what?
coming new music.
I misspoke. So Taking Time wasn't the first song. The first song actually was called Paradise, and that's on my SoundCloud, and I can send it to you guys.
I would definitely. Is it like, is it a different song?
No, well, is it a different song? Yeah, it's not Taking Time at all.
Okay.
But it's the same sound, except that you know Dustin was screaming for a little bit of it in the beginning, and it was before
Send
we
it
had our actual
immediately.
template, you know, and stuff like that. But so when was Taking Time? Probably probably in 2017, towards the beginning of 2017.
Really? I feel
Right
like
on.
I've known Isles of Aura so much longer than 2017.
Well, Paradise, that was our first song, and we were promoting that for a while, and that was 6 years ago now at this point. So
Maybe.
So, what was the decision to scrap Paradise and not put it on the LP?
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's in drop A.
Oh shit! All right. Was it in A sharp on 6 strings or drop A on 7 string?
Drop A on the sixth string.
Okay,
So
right
it
on.
was like
Shit,
it
Bree
just
Bree.
it didn't fit. Yeah, it just didn't fit like the tuning like for as far as like playing live. Like it just wasn't really feasible because you know nobody had like a 7 string guitar laying around, and also there was screaming, and we just kind of wanted to, you know, when we really decided on what the sound for Owl's Vora was going to be, it was no screaming because, you know, as I said before, like we were still the sky, and I was screaming 70% of the time in that, but we were just trying to, you know, I love Dance Gavin Dance, and I'm sure some of your fans are going to be mad, but like, there's a lot
We
of
don't
me
have
that
those.
wishes.
Yeah, we don't know what those are.
We do this for our own entertainment, dog.
Okay, well, there's a lot of people, or there's a lot of times where I'm listening to Dance Gavin Dance, and I'm like, oh yeah, Tillian, this is beautiful, and then John Mess comes on, and he's screaming about some random stuff, and I'm like, you know, this right here at this point for me would just be better if there wasn't screaming going on. So we kind of wanted to, you know, provide that alternative solution. You know, not only for the Dance Gavin Dance fans, but you know, just for in general
For
because you
the
know there's
Isles of Aura fans.
yeah, well the
Yeah.
thing is there's such a large there's such a large demographic where people are like, oh, you're screaming, I don't want to listen to that, you know,
Yeah,
and that's just the reality of music, you know.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
kind
it
of speaking
is.
on that, that's where, you know, now we're realizing, well, not everybody's into the overly technical stuff because, well, here's the thing: the people that are into that, they're musicians, but musicians don't make up, you know, 95% of the music listening base. So
Yeah.
with our newer stuff, it's a little more dialed back, but you know, we're hoping that it still captures.
Oh,
Oh, he dropped out.
oh God. Well, that was unplanned. Hold on. Oh man. Oh, you're back.
Hey, you dropped
Oh, I
out.
don't know what happened, man.
Yo, it's all good.
Random
Technical
DCT.
difficulties.
Like you guys stopped moving. You were like, and then I started hearing myself. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's no problem, bro. Well, one thing I got a weird question for you about
Yeah,
your
David,
name,
go
Tarek
fuck yourself.
TV.
It's my turn.
Oh, well, Tarek TV. Do you do live streaming on Twitch? Like you do video game stuff or
Okay,
what?
you guys are gonna laugh at this.
No,
So
I'd never laugh at you.
I I do stream every now and then. I'm a big Rocket League player. Like I'm champ 2 in Rocket League.
Boy, you just made David come in his fucking pants, boy.
Well, let's get it. Let's get it, bro.
Bro, add me, bro.
Bet, bet.
But like so Tarek TV, that's actually comes from the MySpace days, dude. So everyone had some crazy MySpace name. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember that, but
Yes.
everyone had some Uber scene
Bro,
name.
listen, my whole MySpace fucking playlist was scary kids scaring kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Straight
So
up.
like I I just ever since then, dude, it's been Tarek TV. That was my name, and I've stuck with that for the branding. Moving forward on my solo stuff, and because I would release solo music back then, under Tarek
You
TV,
release
and
solo music now. I just heard
yeah, I do.
you're new. What was it? Nervous?
Yeah, I got a whole album out, man. It's
Yeah,
called
no,
Love, Lust,
I
and
gotta listen
Destruction.
to the. I need to listen to the album, but I know Nervous. I was really fucking into.
Nervous is like one of my least favorites off that,
Really,
surprisingly.
I
Yeah.
was into that song like deep.
I appreciate it. But yeah,
Yeah,
the Tarek
man.
TV thing, man, just goes back to MySpace, which is funny because, like, when I'm on Rocket League, people are like, "Are you live?" And I'm like, "No." And then they're like, "Why do you have TV in your name if you're not even streaming?" I'm like, "Dude, this has been my name since before Twitch was even thought of. Let me tell you, like,
Okay, so I have a question as far as the whole album is concerned
all
of
right."
cohesive frequency. Um, what what is the biggest message that you want to send to people from this album?
From cohesive frequency. Um, So I actually do talk about a few things in the album. Like you'll notice that there's a few songs where it's like I'm talking about one thing, but then I'm talking about another thing. And that's one thing I like to do is I like to leave a lot of my lyrics open ended so they can have multiple meanings for their listeners. So
Right.
like you can take it however you want, whatever applies to you. But the main message that I'm always trying to portray is that that there's a light inside of all of us, right? There's this peace, this beautiful energy inside of all of us, and unless you can find out how to battle your demons, whatever you're fighting with, whether it's inside of you or external forces, like somebody causing drama in your life, there's always a better solution for yourself. And like I hope that my words would just inspire people to be the best versions of themselves that they could be, and not get dragged but down by all the negativity in the world. Because like at the end of the day, like everyone's got battles that they gotta to fight through, but how you let that affect you and how you let that determine what kind of person you're gonna be, that's your choice, right? So like I'm always trying to just kind of shed light on that. Everyone's got the potential to just be a beautiful soul and like walk away from the negativity.
Tarek, that was beautiful. That was
Fucking
beautiful.
tear.
Ah,
I'm telling you, God. Tearjerker over here. Hey,
Uh,
David, ask this brother a question. I'll be right back.
all right. Well, shit. You play Rocket League on PC?
yes, sir.
Mouse and keyboard or controller?
Controller, of course.
Fuck yeah.
I,
I,
I can't
I,
imagine trying to play Rocket League on mouse
like
and keyboard.
literally, Violent Panda and Evampel are the only two good mouse and keyboard players.
keyboard, and I'm like, this is insane that you're playing like this with a mouse and
Yeah,
keyboard. Because
right.
yeah,
I'll
every time my controller disconnects, I'm like, okay, hold on a second. I'm like, yeah, I
boop,
know how
boop.
to game with it, but this is definitely Rocket League. You need a controller. That's just how I feel.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and give you a fair warning. You say you're like champ 2, I'm like diamond 1.
Oh, that's all right, man. I got 3 accounts, one for everybody.
Sheesh. Oh, dude, that's awesome. I can't
Yeah.
believe that we both play Rocket League.
Dude, it's my favorite game. I've got probably like 1,700 hours in on it.
Yeah, I
So
have like 750 at the
yeah.
moment. So I was like a really big first person shooter guy. I had like 2300 hours in CS:GO.
Oh,
But
okay. See,
then I got into like really into Rocket League for a while.
I'm pretty much the same way, dude. Like I was a Prestige Master in Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and then pretty much since I played on PC, the community died because it wasn't crossplay, and everyone that was still
Yeah,
playing was on like consoles and stuff. But um, yeah, I've tried to play some first person shooters, recently. Like I have, Warzone and Modern Warfare and stuff like that. But for me, dude, Rocket League is just it's an amazing game. Like because it's such a simple
uh, it
concept, right? But
it is.
but it's
The
the same
skill
thing as
ceiling
like
is so high.
exactly because it's like it's like the same thing with like professional sports, right? You've got the NBA, you've got the NFL, and you can either be like, okay, I'm a decent, I just kind of dribble around, or you could be LeBron James or Michael Jordan, like, and
Yeah,
it there's just so much that goes into it, and I love that game. You guys haven't played Rocket League, you should do
Okay,
it.
for
so
sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that Rocket League isn't a game that I play, and it's not because I don't think it's a good game. It's because I'm really fucking bad at it. Um,
Everyone's bad at it when they first start playing. Let me tell you,
but
man.
anyway, so another question for you is, as far as it went at the time of writing Cohesive Frequency. What was the hardest part about structuring a song and putting the song together? No, and also, with that, what was the hardest part of structuring the whole album in its entirety?
Okay, hold on. So, sorry, my internet was being kind of weird, I think. So, did you say what was the hardest part about structuring an album?
Structuring the album plus structuring just the songs in general, and also like, because with Isles of Aura, I've always seen it as you guys have had this sound to you since I found you of like almost I'm gonna just say as like mystic core because like
Oh,
it's a
okay.
very mystical sound. Like y'all have a very different sound to most bands that I've heard to this day. But really like I want to know what's the hardest part of structuring y'all songs and albums.
So, kind of like what I talked about earlier, is just really thinking and finding the notes that are going to portray that emotion because that's like always the number one important thing for us. Obviously, being a song, playing shows, like it's all important. But for us, when we're writing, we want to be able to evoke an emotion out of you. If you're listening to it, whether you're gonna get cry or get mad or like have a good time, listen to it. We want to be able to evoke that emotion, and so really the hardest part about writing the song is just finding, all of those different segments and piecing them together that are gonna flow right, so we can have the ability to evoke that emotion in you. And it's the same thing with piecing the album together. Is just it has to flow. We because we don't write. I don't feel like I've heard different things. Okay, so like a lot of people they say, oh well, I don't listen to full albums. But then there's also a lot of people who say I listen to albums from front to back. I'm one of the people who listen to an album. Like if I'm listening to an artist, I'm listening to their album from front to back. Whether it's Issues, Spirit Box, Dance Gavin Dance, like when they put out a release, I'm listening to it from front to back. Not like, oh, let me just jump to track 10. Like I don't do that. So,
Right.
what we wanted to do on all of our releases is just make sure that it flowed right, so that you could listen to it or lay down in bed with your headphones and take 30 minutes out of your time and just, take it all in and have that experience.
Right.
Um, and that's all we ever try for. But definitely figuring out the flow of things is probably the hardest part.
That's another thing is funny enough, me and David actually had a brief little conversation about this the other day, is how short of an album Cohesive Frequency actually is, because it's only 28 minutes.
Right.
And me and David was like, "Damn, it's only 28 minutes." But
Feels
like,
longer or what?
but I mean,
It does feel longer, but I think that whenever you see Depths Rising and Longevity in it, it's still a 10-track album, but
yeah.
with two like intro songs like that, it just
Right.
Well,
feels
I mean,
shorter.
really, I think Longevity, like, because you got Depths Rising and then you got Longevity. It's more like a, with Asking Alexandria when they did Stand Up and Scream, like they had Alarion and then they also had Hiatus.
Yeah.
So it's
Hmm.
kind of like that kind of deal. But as far as everything goes, I just want to say Cohesive Frequency was the album I found y'all on,
Yeah.
and to this day, it is absolutely one of my top 10 albums of all time. Like, it's a beautiful album, dude. It really is.
Appreciate it, man.
Everything that went into that album is just incredible. The thought process to the execution, everything about it is just amazing. It really, really is, bro.
Well, we definitely appreciate y'all, man.
Oh,
Like, for real.
absolutely, dude.
Shit, we
Especially
appreciate
in such
y'all.
a
Hell yeah.
well, it's hard, like just how do I want to say this the right way? It's just hard to like push forward, and keep going on when the demographic or niche is just so small, in comparison to other things.
Yeah.
Like,
It is, yeah.
so like and a lot of people who listen to progressive rock or metalcore or screamo, whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of elitists out
They're
these
There's a lot of
days.
picky, bro.
gatekeeping. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
It's like a
gatekeeping.
picky eater. Like, I'm not gonna eat those fucking Brussels sprouts. Fuck those
Yeah,
Brussels
yeah.
sprouts. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
eat that shit.
everyone's talking about them right now. Nah, like just
Yeah,
so
no, I feel you.
it's hard in this industry, man. It honestly is. And so like the people like you guys, who like love the music and listen frequently like that honestly means a lot to us. Like really. So thank you guys, for even
No
having that
problem,
time,
bro.
having me on
Listen,
here to talk to you about this and like just thank you,
It's
thank you.
our honor, brother.
absolutely.
It really is.
No issue with me. Like, Owls of Aura is Owls of Aura is one of those bands like one my favorite band I've ever just like found randomly. Cause like I said, I was listening to Dance Gavin Dance one day and you guys came up under suggested videos and I was like, fuck it, I'll listen to this. And it was Taking Time. And the second, like literally the second I heard that shit come in, I was like mind blown. Like I'm in it now.
Well, let me ask each of you, which
Oh
ones are your
shit!
favorite songs?
The
I
tables
want to
have
know.
turned.
I want to know from one song from each of you, what's your absolute favorite song out of all of the songs?
Like from Cohesive Frequency and the Grand Allure.
Yeah, any of the songs. I want to know what
Okay.
your
All right,
favorite
David,
is.
you go first.
You know what? I really think so. It used to be Evergreen Moon, but I
Okay.
really think it might be Terror and Horror.
Ooh, yeah, that song rocks.
Yeah, is that a
That
sleeper?
shit
Is
is
that a
fire.
sleeper pick or is that a normie pick?
um, I,
I'd say
I
that's
I
a
feel like
middle of
that's
the
I feel like
road.
that's a normal pick because honestly, like when we play live, people are like, "You're gonna play terror and horror, right?" We're like, "Yeah, we're gonna," and I'm singing it, and then I look out, and I'm like, "You're singing it, yeah,"
For me, dude, it's between two. Like I can't choose one. It's between Blue Bug Blood and fucking Tangled Tongues. Those
Oh,
songs
okay.
slap like
Gee,
hard.
Tangled Tongues
The
is
breakdown in Tangled Tongues is ridiculously like just fucking in your face, and I love
what
it.
Wait, is that the
And
part? It's like dun 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 dun. Dun.
you
It's like
know
real
what
weird,
part
you
it is.
know?
You
Okay.
already knew. But then Blue Bug Blood, like, dun, 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 dun. Like that
Yeah.
shit, they just bring, like, it starts off and you know you're in for the most mathcore, swancore, whatever the fuck. Like, you know you're in for a good time. Like,
Man, I love the bridge in Break Blue Bug Blood. For honest, like to be like completely
that
honest,
whole
just that.
song is just fire
That
to
come
me.
on in, take a taste. You know that part. Like I
Yeah.
love
Oh,
that
give
part,
us a little
man.
bit more. Don't
Yeah.
tease me.
Don't put him on the spot, David.
Oh man.
No, dead ass
Oh,
though. Like, Alzavor is 100% one of, like, probably the number one band I've ever just found.
Well, I appreciate that,
I
man.
was I was very very lucky to find you guys. Y'all are
I hope
just
you guys get as
insane.
hyped about the new stuff as you are the old
Oh,
stuff.
bro,
Because
like,
we're
with
putting
with
like everything into
when
this
I
new
send David
stuff.
what you sent me, I'm not even gonna say the name of it because, like, I don't wanna I wanna be that guy.
you,
But
it's called Yesterday.
all right, well, he
For
sent
anybody
it.
watching, yeah, it's called Yesterday,
All
and
right,
it's coming out soon
yesterday.
with the music video and all that.
Do you know when the music video is coming out?
I don't have a specific date, but we're in the works of like writing a script for it right now. And we're not gonna cheap out. It should be our best video to date. You know, because the whole point of going the new direction we're going is just, you know, I don't want to say sell out, but like for layman's terms, so everybody understanding that's what we're talking about is just making stuff that
You're
everyone
selling
can like.
out.
We want everyone, you know, to like what it is, but I still think it's very unique sounding, and you know what we're bringing
No,
to the
bro.
table. So
When you told me y'all were working on new stuff, I got almost like fangirly. I'm excited about it, bro. Like, dead ass. I am very excited about it.
that's dope.
Oh
I
yeah.
can't wait to hear everybody's opinions on it.
I'm ready. I'm ready to hear it, bro. Like I said yesterday, is fucking, like, it's really good. And right after this podcast, I'm sending it to David.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. David, anything?
yeah. One more thing. Shorelines.
Mm, shorelines.
So, all right. So let me tell you what I get from this song a little bit.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right, and I want to see if it fits your image. I think that, like, whenever the waves come in and you get washed up on shore and you like wake up and find something new, I get that vibe from this
Okay.
song. Like, you go through the recovery, you go through the drowning, and you go through recovery, and then you wash up on shore and you wake up to a new day.
That's beautiful, man. I've never heard that interpretation myself.
I'm a fucking cry.
But because short, like I said, a lot of cohesive frequency is like same subject. So it's to me, it's right there with terror and horror. It's right there with Blue Bug Blood. You know, it's just about the trauma, the pain, the like, how could you do this to me? You know, that type of thing. So to hear that, I appreciate that. I really
Yeah,
Oh,
appreciate
no.
that.
bro,
When we were on the phone
my
the other day,
heart.
I got a little overzealous and kind of, like, got some answers from you already. Like, I was just kind of excited. Um,
Well, but also though about shorelines is that the way it ends and the kind of song it is because it's a very, in my opinion, it's a very captivating song. You know, it's definitely a part of that side where
Shoreline's
you're
one of
like,
my favorite songs on the album. Gonna go
I
ahead and
want to
say
hear
that.
more of this. You know what I'm saying? So, we again with the flow thing. You know that you're talking about. What's the hardest part? It's the flow, but we all knew in the band that right away that that song had to be last because if you listen to the album from front to back, by the time Shorelines is done playing, you're like, what? That's it? I need more. Where's the rest? Like, so
No,
yeah.
Shorelines is one of my favorite songs from the album. I'm gonna tell you right now. Um, Personally, my favorite song from Cohesive Frequency has to be Blue Bug Blood. Like, that shit just goes so hard. Um, I gotta give your guitarist Brett, like, some
And
props.
Dustin had a big part in that song
Well,
for
Brett and
sure.
Dustin fucking killed it. Like dead ass. They fucking went in. Like they no holds barred. They were going in. No
That's
doubt.
yeah, bro.
And
That
then
squeaking that yeah.
and if Tyler is listening to this right now,
He's
my
not.
man.
I promise you, he's not because he's out.
Well, if he is, Tyler, you did good.
Yeah, for sure.
So, with the new stuff that you're talking about coming out, do we expect a 2021 release or a next year release?
Oh, definitely a 2021 release. So
Oh
She,
what
shit!
what what we're gonna be doing is
Woo!
so like it's a lot of stress working on an album
Yeah.
because you got to write all these intricate parts and you got to find the flow and you got to piece them together. And so what we're doing is we're gonna put all that same type of energy into working on one song at a time. So it's the best it can be versus where there's been I wouldn't say they necessarily slip through, but like you just can't give your all to one song when you're working on like five others at the same time. So
yeah.
what we're trying to do right now is just focus on writing the bangers, like absolute, like there's nothing else we could possibly do to this song. It's where it needs to be. Is it a hit or is it a miss? And if it's a miss, we're just gonna scratch it. But if it's a hit, we're gonna put it out and we're gonna treat every single, probably about five coming up that are they're gonna be treated like albums. They're gonna be dropped with a
Hmm.
music video. They're gonna be dropped with merch and stuff like that. So
And can we expect the LP or an EP coming up?
oh,
Ooh, I know
that
the answer. Do you want me to answer this one, Tarek?
that I don't know. I don't even know that. So
Yeah.
I would assume an LP, but it would include a lot of the singles that we're gonna release over the next coming months. Um, I mean, what do you guys want? You guys are the fans.
I'm just yeah. I want
I
all of
want just as much Alzavor as I can get.
Okay, okay, for
it.
sure.
So with your local scene, what
Yeah,
shows
what
do y'all go to or play at where the crowd is like super loyal and they
I
just
gotta
go
know what the
off?
local scene's like.
I'm
Got
guessing it's
Oh
a big
man,
Chicago venue because you guys are so close to Chicago.
no,
But is
no,
there anything
actually,
else?
I mean there's the Apollo. What's really strange around here is that we, how do I say this? I wouldn't say we're like massively known out here, like because there's been plenty of other bands that I've been in throughout the years where we would have like 100 plus draw, and whereas Alzavora, I feel like the music is too technical. And that's again, that's why we're doing where we're heading in the direction we're going now to still give every ounce of uniqueness that we put in these other albums, but you gotta look at it like this, okay? If you're not a musician and you're not understanding what's happening, you can't appreciate it the same way.
Yeah, for
as
So,
sure.
as two guys that are very like we love, like me and David play music together every now and then.
We do
Like,
not. What we do is not called music.
well, what we do is we've yeah, we've we've tried to piece together songs. It's may go somewhere, it may not. Who fucking knows?
well, good
But
luck.
thank you.
Seriously.
But as two dudes who appreciate music for what it is and for what for the messages that it sends, I think that me and David can very much appreciate what Isles of Aura is bringing to the table. Like y'all talk about, some serious shit. Like some shit
Yeah.
people need to hear.
True. Yeah, but like locally though, I mean, I think probably our biggest draw was like 50 people, maybe 60. And like the thing is that we've got a lot of respect and we've built a name and we've got credibility around here, but again, it's just as far as like the average consumer, we might as well be speaking a different language to them.
Yeah.
You know, because they're not musicians. You know, they just don't understand how hard it is to do. Like they're just like, oh, okay, okay, you know, like so.
No, that's just hard. Oh man, David, do you have anything else?
Yeah, so with you and being such an incredible musician and vocalist, and you play drums and
Dick
all this
Rider.
other stuff, and you do some keyboard work and stuff, like what really came first? Like, where did you start at? And like, how did you get into really writing vocals and singing? Did you start on instruments or what?
Okay, so I've always been into the drums. Like as a kid, I was just really inspired by the drums. Like I was like 6 years old. Like we got to go to this place. I need some drumsticks. Like I was obsessed with the drums. And you know, my father, he played the trumpet for a long time. And he was always talking about that. So I've actually got like a lot of musical education, you know, because of just what he would tell me, and then my mom was also in band class and stuff. So, come the 6th grade, I picked up the trumpet, and I was a first chair trumpet for throughout most of middle school and
Weird
high
flex, but
school.
okay.
Yeah, and but you know, I got a drum set. Finally, I got my own drum set when I was 15 years old. My stepmom got that for me, and it was such a blessing because I had already, you know, all the time, like in the car, I basically knew how to play drums at that point before I even got a drum set because all the time I wanted to drum. I was in the car, you know, air drumming, Breaking Benjamin, air drumming things like Earth, Wind, and Fire, you know, stuff like that. So by the time I got
Respect.
a kit, it just kind of clicked to me. I knew what I needed to do. And then like right after I was like exposed to like Joey Jordison, and I was like, "Oh, I need to get
Rip,
super
Rip
Woo!
sick at
Joey,
the double
Rip
bass."
Joey.
Woo!
Yeah,
Rest in
yeah.
peace.
R.I.P. Man. Much love. Like the dude was
Hell yeah.
amazing on the drums and a huge inspiration. But
Yeah,
um, I guess just being in band class for since middle school all the way until I graduated, and you know having that musical education, and also having just a natural knack for music had just kind of allowed me to explore different avenues, and get good at it. Just well, with anything though, you got to put in the time. Like I wasn't always able to sing this way. In 2010, I like is when I was working actually at Pizza Hut delivering pizzas, and like I was listening to a lot of Pierce the Veil, a lot of Sleeping with Sirens, things like that, and I could not hit those notes to save my life, dude. Like, and so I'm driving around, I'm smoking cigarettes. Bad, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but I was driving around, and like I'm like, I know it's just a matter of me practicing, so like I would do nothing but like blare "I See Stars," Pierce the Veil, and Sleeping with Sirens, and I'm like, I don't care if it sounds like crap. I'm gonna eventually like because your vocals, it's like a muscle with anything else.
We
It's
just
like
gotta work that shit out,
you gotta
man.
work it out, bro. And like next thing you know, like I can hit like it's actually way easier for me to hit high notes than it is to sing like in a moderate range now
Right.
these days. So really just for anybody that's watching or if you want to get good at something, you just got to put in the time. Like
you
really,
gotta
you
grind
just
hours. It's like
yeah,
anything else in life, you know.
yeah.
You want to get good
Yep.
at Rocket League,
You
you
want to
gotta
rank
grind
up?
the
You got to
hours.
grind.
Okay, so I have one more question. I think David, do you have anything else?
Oh, you can go and go.
Okay. As far as damn it, forgot my question. As
Oh
far as
no. I'm kidding.
I know. As far as putting really like putting together an album, because you have what, two Isles of Aura albums, right?
Right.
How long does that really like take to put it all together?
I'm glad that you asked me this question so people can actually um
Understand what goes into it.
yeah, understand and also just have a little bit more respect for musicians, not just us, but like in particular cohesive frequency.
You can talk about the grand allure here too. Like it's
I,
like how
yeah,
much
yeah.
time went
I'm gonna
into
talk.
both of these albums?
I'm gonna say both. Okay, between the both of the albums, I would say 1,200 hours. I mean,
Is
when Brett and I and Ian were working on the Grand Allure, I mean, there were times where like like not times, there was months on end where like I would be up editing things, producing things, mixing and mastering, and like we would have started on it at like 4 p.m. and I'd be over at Brett's house and he'd get up for work at 6 in the morning and I'd still be there like, and he's like, dude, you're still up, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get this done. Like, and I mean, to be fair, a lot of that time was just for the mixing and mastering, and like, we do it all in house and all ourselves. So, but it definitely takes a lot of time, because if the mix ain't right, you ain't gonna feel the music right. So,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Has there ever been a time so like you put out an album and then like a couple years later, is there any changes that you wish that you would have made to songs
Oh,
before you like?
um, no, I can't say that there is, just because the editing process and like before we even release something, like we're so like critical on ourselves,
Mhm.
that like
which I respect, by the
if there was
way.
something that was gonna get needed to get changed, or we wanted to change, like it would have been in the long list of notes and we would have eventually knocked that out and changed it. So like I said, a lot of it's just really calculated.
Right on, man. So with um with cohesive frequency, what would you say is your favorite song?
I'm gonna go with Taking Time. I love playing that song. I love
Oh,
hearing
Okay,
that song.
okay.
And that, it's I it's like the second song on the album, I think, and we
it's
just
so
wanted to
good, man. It's so
straight going
good.
into it, like that's definitely my favorite song.
It's
Next,
so
I
good.
would say Evergreen Moon, definitely. um
But I will say this, Tarek, you're wrong. It's not the second song of the album.
oh, which one is it?
It's the
Third.
third
Oh,
song.
all right, Love Patiently is first, and that's also
By
that's
the
like
way, Love Patiently, also a sleeper song. Fucking amazing song.
that's like our number one song.
Yeah,
It's
that's not
so
a
good.
sleeper,
I
Dawn.
I don't know if it's
No,
just because
Love
it's like,
Patiently?
yeah, no, that's our number one song on all the streaming
Really?
platforms. Every time like we look at the stats, people listen to that and Blue Bug Blood the most.
Dude, Taking Time has always been a like genuine favorite of mine, but I think it's because that's how I found you. I don't know.
I feel you, man. The nostalgia for you.
Yeah, big time. But David, I think we have taken up enough of Tarek's time here.
Well,
I
if
think
you have any
I,
more questions, I mean, I got a little bit
David, do you
more, but
think?
I got one more for you as a fan. Like, what is your number one band to see live?
Ooh.
ooh.
Oh,
Mine's Held the Sun. I'll tell you mine.
a day
Okay,
to
so
remember.
I love Hail a Sun. I have not been blessed enough to see them live yet.
Bro, you gotta change that.
I have to change that, but uh, well, it's always changing. I mean, there was a time where I would have told you The Devil Wears Prada, because
They go
they,
hard.
yeah, they when I saw them play with Roots, that whole album from front to back at Warp Tour, it was incredible. Like they sounded exactly like they did on the album, and the kick
They
drum
are
was
so
hitting, dude. Like,
blessed with this like God gifted talent. It's ridiculous.
but these days, I would say Dance Gavin Dance. I mean,
They go
Okay.
hard.
it's incredible to see Tillian up there just hitting these notes, and you're like, oh my God, he can actually sing like that. And
Yeah.
then, Will's up there like doing his thing, and then they got Andrew Wells, like,
See,
the backup
one
vocals, Matt Mingus. Like, yeah.
one band that I hear is like they should have like sang it different in the album because like he can't hit the high notes like in person is Asking Alexandria. But also I've heard different things about Asking Alexandria. You know.
Okay, when I saw Asking Alexandria
Oh,
at the
you're gonna shit on me.
rave in Milwaukee, they were also playing with We Came as Romans and Our Last Night and From First to Last.
Yeah.
But when I saw Asking Alexandria in their prime, no one could have said anything about them other than the fact that it fucking slapped, dude. Like, like seriously, it was the best performance that I've ever like. That was my favorite show. Me seeing Asking Alexandria play Stand Up and Scream when that first came out, nothing's ever gonna compete with that
Well,
in
now I
my
can't wait for
mind.
November 3rd. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, well, now Danny's not drinking and stuff too, so maybe he'll
Yeah,
actually have
yeah.
some breath for you. Everything.
Well, David, do you have anything else for Tarek?
No, I think that's about it.
Well, shit, Tarek, man. Thank you for coming on, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. You're welcome.
Bro, okay, so everybody that's watching, like, if you want to see us discuss the Grand Allure, let us know in the comments. We would love to have Tarek back on here. He's been nothing but awesome since I started talking to him. Like, he's dope, dude. Great musician. I appreciate him very much. And Tarek, like I said, thank you so much for being on, man.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. You're welcome.
Yeah, anything you want to shout out?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Plug
yeah.
whatever you want to
All
plug,
right,
dude.
I do want to plug a couple things here. So, number one, stay tuned for our new single that's coming out. It's called Yesterday. I'll be with a music video that should be within the
It's
next couple
fire. It's
months.
so good.
I personally like it a lot. Everyone that's heard it kind of likes it a lot, and just if you can follow the band on Instagram or on Facebook, it's just Owls of Aura, and if you want to find me everywhere, it's always TarekTV. So no matter what.
There will be links in the description of the YouTube video whenever I upload the VOD as
Absolutely.
well.
And
So-
if you haven't already, follow Tarek TV on Instagram. Follow Owls of War on Twitter, Instagram, and fucking like
Not
listen to
Twitter.
the-
We're never on Twitter. No one's. We
Fuck
don't use
Twitter.
That's all I
then.
use. That's all I
Instagram.
use.
Listen, follow Owls of War wherever you can. All right, Instagram for sure. But go give Cohesive Frequency a listen, and if we can get Tarek back on here for the Grand Allure, I would fucking love to have him. Just let us know in the comments that you want him to come back.
Yeah, and we're on all major platforms. Spotify, Amazon,
Spotify.
Google, Apple Music, iTunes, all the major platforms. We're there. So give us a stream if you can. I think you'll like what you hear.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Tarek, thank you so much for coming on, brother.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Any
I'll talk to you
fucking
in
time,
the group chat there. We'll get on some Rocket League.
Oh, yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
Later.
Laters.